And look, very nice box for my trinkets.
Another box for my trinkets. What's going on? It's Trinketville.
Well, hello.
How the heck are you?
If you clicked on this video, you probably like whimsical things. And if you don't, I think you might be lost. You need some help? When it comes to whimsical styles, there is one that stands out to me, and that is Whimsigoth. And it's not just because it's in the name, but also because Whimsigoth is an eclectic style that encapsulates dozens of different whimsical styles into one maximalist package. It has slowly become one of my favorite styles, and I have already covered the clothing fashion aspect of it, but today we are going to be covering the interior design and decor aspect of Whimsigoth. In the video about Whimsigoth fashion, I did cover the origins and inspirations of the style. However, if you haven't watched that video, fear not, I am going to loosely cover that here. And if you're interested in Whimsigoth fashion and you haven't already seen that video, I will go ahead and link it down below so you can watch that next. But before I get too ahead of myself, we have business to attend to. Your girl has a sponsor. So take it away, Admiral Scotty. I am super excited to announce that today's video is kindly being sponsored by Birch Living. Birch, please. Birch Living makes fiberglass-free mattresses and sleep products crafted with natural and organic materials and are free from polyurethane foams, which can cause harmful off-gassing. So I was really excited when Birch Living reached out to work with me and offered to send me this mattress topper, which is made from organic and eco-conscious materials, including proprietary birch wool, organic cotton, and high-quality natural latex. Especially after I found myself accidentally going down the fiberglass mattress rabbit hole on TikTok and was horrified to find out that that's exactly what I was sleeping on with my previous mattress topper. In fact, the plush organic mattress topper is Green Guard Gold and GOLS certified. So thank you again to Birch Living for sending me this mattress topper, because now I will be sleeping a lot easier at night. Not just because my mind will be at ease, but also because this thing is actually very soft. It feels like I am sleeping on a cloud of marshmallows. And since we just moved and we're going through a lot of transitions, good sleep is very important to us. It came tightly packed and rolled into a burrito of sorts, and it was really fun to unwrap. However, footage not found because I used the wrong SD card and it got corrupted. Sorry, guys. And get this, when you buy a Birch mattress, you get a 100-night sleep trial and a 25-year warranty. The best part is, Birch delivers your mattress right to your door for free within the US. They also offer an in-home setup and removal to make your buying experience as convenient as possible. So like if you don't have a big strong husband to carry it up the stairs, you have help. And literally on top of that, each Birch mattress comes with 2 of their Eco Rest pillows. So if you would like to snag that deal and get your free pillows, go ahead and click my link down in the description, and you'll also get 20% off your brand new mattress. Thank you again to Birch Living for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. And now, back to the Whimsigoth. So what is Whimsigoth? Well, if you clicked on this video, you probably have a baseline knowledge of what it is, but for the newbies, I'll give you the cliff notes here. So as I stated, Whimsigoth is an eclectic style that combines multiple elements from different styles to create its own unique look. It's very conducive to the thrifted aesthetic. It's more maximal in nature, and it uses a lot of different colors, textures, patterns, mixed and matched together almost over a long period of time, slowly collected and put together with love, passion, and creativity. The style most notably starts to pop up for a lot of people in the late 90s to early 2000s and has slowly started to gain popularity again in the 2020s. But much like its clothing style, it incorporates elements from not just the early 2000s and late 90s, but also from the 70s, as well as the 1800s, Edwardian, and Victorian eras. With its 2 words, whimsy and goth, you kind of get the idea of the juxtaposition, as it incorporates darker elements of gothic as well as lighter, more carefree elements of the whimsy. It's slightly bohemian in nature, but it has a grunge undertone, and it takes a lot of notes from other whimsical styles that incorporate nature into the design elements, such as cottagecore, and has very natural elements as well as slightly spiritual. Think astrology, tarot, witchy elements. However, that is not mandatory when it comes to the style. It is a very customizable style. So now that we've covered the basics of the styles, let's talk about very specific motifs that you'll see over and over again. I would say the most distinct motif when it comes to Whimsigoth are the celestial elements. So you'll see lots of suns, moons, and stars. With that, you'll notice candle holders, art, wall hangings, tapestries, table runners, pillowcases, sheets, duvets, wind chimes, incense holders, trinket boxes, all of which depict suns, moons, and stars in various illustrative or graphic styles. Not everyone who is into Whimsigoth has to embrace the celestial motifs. It's not mandatory to qualify as Whimsigoth. You can still include all of the other elements and it'll still be classified as such, but I would say that is the most recognizable element of Whimsigoth. You also might notice some sprinklings of religious motifs as well, such as cathedral windows and other architectural details, cherubs, and other angelic motifs, especially when paired with the stars and the sun elements. However, that again is not mandatory. I personally don't tend to lean into that aspect of Whimsigoth because it's not my thing, but that's just something that I noticed as a pattern when I was looking at different shops and Pinterest boards. So what else can you use in your interior design? Well, since the style has a lot of vintage elements, when looking for furniture and other decor pieces, I would say to look for things that are either vintage or antique, or at least have that vintage or antique look with ornate details and wood carving. I would say it's pretty easy to accidentally go into the cottagecore shabby chic territory. So if you want to avoid that, I would say look for darker, richer colors, darker woods and wood stains, and also maybe look for jewel tones, which are pretty popular. So that would include deep burgundies, royal purples and blues, rust oranges, emeralds or teal greens, etc., etc. I would avoid whitewashed furniture, which is very popular in the cottagecore / shabby chic style, and avoid colors that are too neutral and muted. Now, I'm not saying you can't do that in your own personal style. I'm just saying that if you are trying to capture the Whimsigoth style, that necessarily wouldn't be in that wheelhouse. So just keep that in mind, but you do you, boo. I specifically see a lot of furniture with ornate details. Again, leaning into that Victorian Gothic-esque style. And when it comes to chairs and couches, think rolled arm, velvet, wingback chairs, things of that sort. Again, especially if it's that velvet or even tapestry upholstery. I personally am a sucker for a Victorian velvet couch. I've always wanted one. However, we didn't quite go that route. We did find kind of a vintage inspired couch. It's tan, but then it has some rust orange velvet stripes on it. I think it's kind of the perfect neutral piece to then accessorize around. The only downside is that the cats like to scratch it. They're being bad. So the next category that I would like to focus on is textiles, drapery, pillows, bedding. Some fabrics that you might notice is popular with the Whimsigoth style are velvet, satin, floaty fabrics such as chiffon, and even a mixture of natural dyed fabrics. You'll notice a lot of mixing and matching when it comes to textiles, which creates a lot of depth and texture, and in the end, a lot of luxury and coziness and interest. For knicky-knacky, you might notice a lot of beautiful ceramics, stained glass, brass items. There's a lot of gold details with Whimsigoth, but you're not limited to just gold. You can also include silver if you're more of a silver girly or guy, if gold is not your vibe. But you can also mix metals since everything is very mixable and matchable, and it adds a lot of interest to the overall vibe of the space. Other motifs you'll notice are a lot of nature motifs, so think flowers, mushrooms, and other botanicals, bugs or insects, and even animals like foxes, cats, especially the cats, black cats, or black dogs. That's a personal preference. She's a sheep right now. And when it comes to overlapping with other styles, Whimsigoth also tends to overlap a lot with different fantasy styles because it has that magical feel to it. And some people may not even realize that there was even an overlap in the early 2000s and 90s with fantasy styles, because Fantasycore and Fairycore seems to have only gained mass popularity within the last 5 years. However, it did exist before it gained mainstream popularity. Think the the grunge fairy statues that happen to be in a lot of novelty shops and still are to this day. Another huge part of Whimsigoth is adding a lot of cozy lighting elements to your room. So you can add string lights, candles, even those battery powered candles if you don't want to burn your house down, or if you're renting and it's in your lease to not have anything burning. Just ambient light in general is really cozy and really nice to add to your interior decorating, including cool lamps and lampshades, and even those like really cool light fixtures and hanging chandeliers are very cool to add to your space. And another thing that adds a lot of coziness is plants. And if you're like me, you can't keep plants alive, there's no shame in fake plants and flowers. Can't stress that enough. Partially because of my own shame. Another thing that is integral to the eclectic style of Whimsigoth is lots and lots of art and wall hangings. One thing that you'll see a lot in Pinterest or Whimsigoth spaces is pre-Raphaelite art because it's very whimsical, it's very magical, and very romantic. Speaking of, hot topic. So, if you were to walk into a thrift store today, what would I tell you to keep an eye out for? 1. Colored glass vases, jars, bottles, or canisters. Think about the colors that we discussed before, but in case you forgot, purples, blues, greens, oranges, and just a mixture of different colors. I would say don't do all the colors unless you want to be infinitely maximalist. I would suggest pick a few colors and stick to those. Of course, we love our brass, so brass candelabras, brass candlesticks, candle holders, glass candle holders. Sometimes they make those little star ones that are really cool. We already kind of touched on this, but hanging lanterns are really nice. Bonus points if they have amber glass or other colored glass. Again, a mixture of different textiles, textures, colors. So I would go to the bedding and the curtains section. Also look for throw pillows and pillow covers. Obviously things with sun, moon, and star elements. And to kind of circle back to the art and wall stuff, look for ornate frames. Bonus points if it's a metallic color, so like brass, gold, silver, but even if it's not, you can get some paint like Rub and Buff to shine it up. Now, if you are looking for some shops that are not thrift, if you're one of those people that's like, ew, thrifting, or you don't have any good thrift stores where you are and you want to look for contemporary stores to go to, Anthropologie, I mean, the stuff is kind of overpriced, but they do have a lot of brass things and kind of more whimsical decor pieces. Same with Urban Outfitters, they're kind of hit or miss, but sometimes they have really cute pillows and bedding. World Market is honestly going to be probably your best bet. They're always coming out with like very bohemian, very whimsical looking items, and this last Christmas they had a lot of celestial themed items as well as mushrooms. Now Wayfair is kind of like an etc, but if you're looking for furniture in particular, they have furniture of different price points but an infinite amount of styles. They also have rugs, curtains. It's pretty much like your one-stop shop for home stuff. A little overpriced. I personally haven't shopped there in a long time because I'm not in that tax bracket. I'm in the tax bracket of thrift store and the side of the road things that people threw out, but that's just me. Another shop that I would like to recommend that I personally would love to shop at but haven't been able to afford it, so if they ever want to work with me, is Disturbia. They have a lot of not only cute clothes and like very whimsigothy, heavy on the goth part of the Whimsigoth, but they also have really cool home decor and bedding that I really want, and there's mushroom and celestial elements and I just want it. When it comes to small businesses, definitely check out Etsy. There are plenty of small businesses out there that sell really cool handmade stuff, or even if you're looking for vintage but you're willing to shell out more money, check out some shops on Etsy. There is a shop, it's a small business, and they sell stuff at the fair, and I really want their, what do you call it? The light, what do you call that? Light switch cover. They're in their shop's name is Fairy Glen, and they've got fairy and castle and like dragon. I'm putting up an image because I can't talk, but yeah, I would check that out. I honestly, that's another idea right there to switch out your light switch plates and your outlet plate. I don't know words. I have a headache, okay? So that to me, at least, is my interpretation of the Whimsigoth style. I hope this provided you with some inspiration and get some little ideas going through your brain. I will be linking a Pinterest board down below so you guys can see all of my examples and save them for yourself. I'm also going to be linking some small businesses and other things that I might might have mentioned in this video. I was going to make an Amazon list, but Jeffrey Bezos, when I catch you, Jeffrey Bezos. Yeah, I'm going to be linking all the small businesses and Etsy shops and eBay shops and just filling the description with lots of resources for you guys so that if you are shopping for Whimsigoth, you can shop to your heart's content or just window shop like I do all the time. That's what I'm doing right now because I'm living in a condo right now and I don't have a house. That's coming soon. For those of you that are new, I recently moved to Colorado and I will be thrifting as soon as we find a permanent place to live. Right now we're in a condo. It's kind of the worst, but it is a place to live, which I'm thankful for. So if you're looking forward to future thrift videos, make sure you subscribe to this channel and like this video to help it reach other people. And if you're so inclined, if you liked my vibe, if you liked this video, if you found it helpful or inspiring, be sure to check out my other videos because when you go from one video to another in my channel, it really helps me out and tells YouTube, hey, this chick, she is, She's pretty good. Let's recommend her to more people. I have a goal in this year to not suck at this, to actually be successful. Oh wow, that's a lot of pressure. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you loads and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.